Welcome to my channel NCERT e-teaching. I am Dr. Kailash Mina, going to explain the topic sex determination from chapter 5 of class 12th biology, which is principles of inheritance and variation. So, what will be the learning outcomes from this chapter for you students? That you will learn different ways of sex determination in different species, and then you will understand that how is the sex of the child determined in human beings. So this slides is representing that how many times we have encountered this very simple basic concept. So first we have encountered the topic of sex determination in human beings in class 8th in chapter 10, reaching the age of adolescence. And then after 1 year we again studied this concept in class 10th chapter 9, heredity and evolution. So I hope you all class 12th biology students are familiar with the mechanism of sex determination in human beings, and if you are not, I am going to explain that also, but in later slides. So here is the opportunity for you all to recall those things, and if you have any doubts, those doubts are going to be cleared in this video. So the mechanism, what is the introduction? The mechanism by which sex is determined is called sex determination. It means the when zygote forms by the fusion of sperm and egg, as we have studied in unit 1 chapter 3 human reproduction. There we only studied the process of reproduction, that how a child is formed, how a zygote is formed, but we never studied what is that child going to be in the future, either a girl or a boy. So sex may be determined by different factors. For example, because of specific chromosomes, by genotypes, or by environmental factors. But in this presentation we will discuss only because of specific chromosomes. It means we will discuss only about the sex determination because of chromosomes, which is called chromosomal sex determination. Sex in many organisms is determined by a pair of chromosomes, and these chromosomes are called sex chromosomes, which we have studied in class 8th and 10th also, that those chromosomes are X and Y, and which differs between males and females. Why? Because females contains 2X chromosomes, and males in case of human beings contain 1X chromosome and 1Y chromosome. The other chromosomes, which are non-sex chromosomes, are the same for males and females and are called autosomes. So when we discuss about chromosomal sex determination, there are several mechanisms. So let us first understand the first mechanism, which is mentioned in our NCERT biology book. But before that we need some historical aspect, and that was very interesting because of the discovery of X chromosome was happened because of the discovery of that mechanism, and that mechanism is called XXXO type of sex determination. We are going to study in the next slide. So let's know the history of chromosomal sex determination. In 1891, Hermann Hanking noticed a peculiar structure in the nuclei of cells from male insects. Understanding neither its function nor its relation to sex, he called this structure the X body. It means the Hanking in 1891, when he discovered in a cell of insect, in the nucleus, one thing, he named it as X body, but he was not aware about the function of that structure. Later, Clarence McClung studied Hanking's discovered X body in grasshoppers and recognized that it was a chromosome, and he called it the accessory chromosome. But eventually, because Hanking discovered it first, so it was named as X chromosome. Klung observed that the cells of female grasshoppers had one more chromosome than the number of chromosomes in the cell of male grasshoppers, and he concluded that accessory chromosomes played a role in sex determination, and that is why we call those chromosomes as sex chromosomes now. Due to the involvement of the X chromosome in the determination of sex, it was designated to be the sex chromosome, and the rest of the chromosomes were named as autosomes. So let's have a context of human beings. As we have studied in class 8th and 10th also, that we have X and Y chromosomes in case of males and 2 X chromosomes in case of females. But we have other chromosomes also, because the total number of chromosomes in every human cell is 46 except gametes. It means except sperms in males and eggs in females. So these 40 chromosomes happens to be in the pairs, 23 pairs. So we have 23 types of chromosomes and 46 number of chromosomes, and out of those 46 chromosomes we are having only 2 sex chromosomes, and rest of the 44 chromosomes are called autosomes because they are non-sex chromosomes. They are not involved in the process of sex determination. Now, so the first method mentioned in our class 12th NCERT biology book is the XXXO sex determination. Here O refers to nothing. For example, as we have studied in ABO blood groups also, that there also O means nothing. So here is XXXO sex determination. So in some insects, in case of grasshoppers, in this case, sex is determined by XXXO system. In this system, females have 2 X chromosomes and males possesses a single X chromosomes. It means XO, O means nothing. So here you can note that if both male and females have same number of autosomes which are non-sex chromosomes, and in case of grasshopper, if female have 2 X chromosomes and male have 1 X chromosome, it is very obvious that male will have ultimately one less chromosome when it comes to total number of chromosome. So there is a question asked in NCERT textbook. Within the text, I will discuss this later also. So there is no O chromosomes. The letter O signifies the absence of sex chromosome. Because males produce 2 different type of gametes with respect to sex chromosomes, they are said to be the heterogametic sex. As we have learned in the chapter 3, human reproduction, and also in this chapter, in my previous classes of monohybrid cross and gamete formation, we know that homo means same and hetero means different. If a person or if any individual or if any organism is producing different types of gametes, it will be called as heterogametic. Or if anyone is producing same type of gametes, it will be called homogametic. So let's consider again the example of human beings. We know that human females have 2 X chromosomes or X plus X chromosome in case of sex chromosome. So they will be producing only one type of egg which always contains X. But as we have also learnt in previous classes that males are producing sperms either containing X chromosome or containing Y chromosome. So in this case of human beings, male can be called heterogametic sex or heterogametic individual. We will discuss this term later also. So because male produce 2 different types of gametes with respect to the sex chromosome, they are said to be the heterogametic sex in this case also. But in this case, one sperm will have 1 X chromosome and another type of sperm will not have any sex chromosome as such. Females which produce gametes that are all the same with respect to sex chromosomes are the homogametic sex. In the XXXO system, the sex of an individual is therefore determined by which type of male gametes fertilizes the egg. X bearing sperms unite with X bearing eggs to produce XX zygote which develops into females. It means in any mechanism, the heterogametic sex will be the sex determining factor of in any species. For example, in case of humans or in case of grasshoppers, male is producing two different type of sperms and females are producing same type of eggs. So if you want to know who is responsible for the sex of the child, we can simply say that male which is producing two types of gametes or male which is heterogametic is responsible for the sex determination of the child. Sperms lacking an X chromosome unite with the X pairing egg to produce exozygotes which develops into males. So if females are producing X containing eggs in case of grasshopper, if any sperm without X chromosome unites with that egg, it will develop into a male. So on the basis of this discussion, let's solve one in text question from chapter 5 and on page number 85 you can find. So the question was, do you think the number of chromosomes in the male and female are equal in case of grasshopper? As we have discussed, no. We don't think that the number of chromosomes in the male and female are equal, because male will have one less chromosome because it is having only one X chromosome in case of sex chromosomes, and female is having two X chromosome. So the exact amount of chromosome is 24 in case of females and 23 in case of males. So here we can conclude the number of autosomes will be 22 for both males and females. Now, sex determination in humans, or XXXY type of sex determination. See, there is one question in NCERT exercises from this chapter, which is question number 11. The question is, how is sex determined in human beings? So we can solve this question by understanding this mechanism. So it is very simple. In XXXY type of sex determination, example are human beings. Here we can see that male is producing two different types of gametes, X and Y, and female is producing same type of gametes, X and X. So what are the possibilities? Let's reconsider monohybrid cross, recall monohybrid cross, and as we have calculated the outcomes of any genetic cross by using Punnett square, here we can make the grid as we have learnt in our previous videos, in our previous lectures, and we can put the type of gametes here, female gametes and male gametes. So when these two gametes unite, they will produce a female. When these two gametes unite, they will produce a male. When these two gametes unite, they will again produce female, and when these two gametes unite, they will produce a male. It means we will receive a 1-to-1 ratio or 50% 50% ratio in the next generation in case of human beings. As in case of probability, these are only probabilities. We cannot expect exact amount of individuals. For example, if a human couple is having 4 childs or having 2 childs, you cannot always say that okay, these 2 will be 1 boy or 1 girl, or these 4 will be 2 boys and 2 girls. These are the probability for each pregnancy. We have learned about the probabilities in our previous videos, what probability really is and how it is important in case of predicting outcomes in genetic crosses. So here is one another example which we have not learnt in our previous classes, that is this fruit. This is a diagram of fruit fly or Drosophila melanogaster, which we have studied in the topic of linkage and recombination. Thomas and Morgan was studied this fly for several genetic experiments. So this XX and XY sex determination mechanism, which is very simple, we have learned, is also applicable to this fruit fly also. So in Drosophila and in humans, the cells of males and females have the same number of chromosomes, because in XXXY mechanisms the female and male have different number of chromosomes. Male was having one less chromosome. So in case of XX and XY sex determination, the cells of males and females have the same number of chromosomes, but the cells of females have two X chromosomes and the cells of males have a single X chromosome and a smaller sex chromosome which is called Y chromosome. So Y chromosome is smaller than X. Y, we will learn it about molecular basis of inheritance and cytology also, because Y chromosome is not very much essential for living beings, so it will have very few number of genes. That is why an X chromosome is very large as compared to Y, and it have many crucial genes. So all males and females are having X chromosomes, but females are not having Y chromosome, but they are surviving very well without Y chromosome. So females are the homogametic sex. Homo means same. All the X cells produced by a female contain single X chromosome. A sperm containing Y chromosome unites with X bearing egg to produce XY male, whereas a sperm containing X chromosome unites with X bearing egg to produce XX female. It is very obvious by this Punnett square or by this representation of genetic cross. Now the next mechanism is ZZ ZW sex determination. What is this ZZ and ZW? These are also sex chromosomes, and actually they are like X and XY type of sex determination, but in this case the male is producing same type of gametes and the female is producing different type of gametes. That is why it is rather confusing, because if we learn in XX XY sex determination that female is producing same type of gametes, in XX XO type of sex determination we again learned that female is producing same type of gametes, and if we learn that in birds, snakes, butterflies and some amphibians and in some fishes female is producing different type of gametes, it means female is heterogametic and male is homogametic, then it will be confusing for us, and that is why scientists have renamed this sex chromosome for these creatures. So it is called ZZ ZW sex determination to prevent confusion with the XX XY system. So here the sex chromosomes are labeled as Z and W. So it is very simple, and exactly the same concept is applying here also, but the difference is female is heterogametic and male is homogametic. So females in the systems are ZW. After meiosis, half of the eggs have a Z chromosome and the other half have a W chromosome. The males are ZZ. All sperms contain a single Z chromosome. In the ZZ ZW system, the examples are birds, snakes, butterflies, some amphibians and some fishes. So there was another question was asked in NCERT text indirectly, that what do you think that who is determining sex in this case? So the answer will be, it is I am asking to you, you will think about that. It is very simple, it will be opposite uh, in case of XY. So this is it. So it was very short and sweet and very interesting topic also, and scoring also, because we have seen many in many times in the question was asked from this topic, and it is very scoring. So thank you so much for your patient listening. My next topic will be genetic disorders. Thanks.